as you know, we are talking about the teachers and how the teachers could can provide quality teaching or could help maintain quality environment of an institute, right? So we have already talked about the skills element. Now we're going to talk about the qualifications. The qualifications, I mean, they're mastery of certain skills and knowledge and content area, right? Currently, as you know, and as we have already talked about, that language teachers especially are seen as experts who are having specialized knowledge and specialized, vocabulary, and this comes through their qualifications. And I mean, there are different levels of qualifications for teachers. Initially, teachers could go for training. For example, there is they could go abroad for conferences, or they could take part in training sessions, how to choose content or instructional materials for language teaching, right? So this overall gives a better understanding of what's going on in the field of TESOL. So, and their qualifications help them become aware of the processes, I mean, the pedagogical knowledge of language teaching, how to employ certain methods and how to do needs analysis, and what principles and what methods specifically could suit their learners' needs, right? So, and similarly, in order to teach, reading, writing, listening, and speaking, the 4 skills, what approaches could be employed, what approaches could be used necessarily to enhance the learning of their students. So there are certain certificates, certain qualifications. For example, as personally, I have done a master's in TESOL from the UK. So this, classifies me as a professional who have already done a master's degree, and I'm having certain specialized vocabulary, certain specialized skills about practical knowledge about language teaching. Theoretical and practical knowledge about language teaching, right? So similarly, there are CELTA and DELTA conducted by Cambridge University, right? Professional qualification, helps teachers become aware of the language teaching field. I mean, the recent trends and their significance. And secondly, these can make them acquire knowledge about the significance of context, to what extent the context is important in making decisions about language teaching. And thirdly, it could enhance their planning for effective teaching. For example, how to choose materials and what are materials that are considered important for learners' needs. And this also helps them, these qualifications make them aware of the class management element and the teaching skills which they need for effective language teaching. And these qualifications tend to help them make worthwhile decisions about choosing resources, making the use of resources and instructional materials, whether they want to use authentic or published material. So they become sort of aware of the complications involved between these two things, right? So what I mean to say overall here, the teachers and their qualifications, they create an atmosphere of quality teaching. For example, if an institute is having well-trained, well-qualified teachers, obviously that will naturally impact upon the quality of teaching. Right. So in order to maintain its quality environment, on the other hand, the teaching context, I mean the institute, needs to introduce some opportunities for language teachers to maintain their language teaching expertise and enhance their language teaching expertise. And this could be done in the form of professional development programs where teachers could be encouraged to take part in research and go for some conferences or presenting their research to others. So in brief, the teachers, their skills and qualifications are important factor to create quality teaching of an organization. And if the teachers are very well qualified and they are well trained and well experienced, they could compensate for if there are some deficiencies in the curriculum, they could compensate those deficiencies.